Hello, welcome to the Wealth Transfer. My name is Terry Saka. I know this week we're going to get into talking about gold and silver manipulation in the markets to show you exactly what's going on and how that somehow relates to the central bank money printing and expansion. So stay tuned for that. But before we get into it, I do want to let you know how you can get a hold of us. You can go to cornerstoneassetmetals.com. There you can get any gold and silver information, and you can watch the television programs there. I also love my favorite, Instagram. Instagram, you can go to Cornerstone Mint. On Instagram, I like it because of the 1-minute videos that get posted and beautiful graphics by our team. We just have a wonderful, wonderful team. So please visit us there. And then, of course, go to Wealth Transfer Television and YouTube. And for those that in YouTube, if you have not, please hit the subscribe button and notifications, because we are going to take these long programs and start breaking them down. And more importantly, things that are not going to be done on television. That's why for those in television, we do want you to go to YouTube and be subscribers and get notifications. We are going to start doing breaking news, and not too much, believe me, I'm not about that, but really important breaking news information that maybe we can't get into the television cycle, and we just want to do a few minute clips on those, and you may want to watch those. It'd be great to cut through a lot of the fluff that's out there with these little videos, and we're working towards doing that. So for those in television, please go to YouTube for that purpose so you can be a part of it. You don't want to miss out on those. So I do want to go right into the gold aspect of the derivative manipulation. The reason I want to mention the gold part of it, oh, and before I do that too, I know people asked last week about this too, that, we've got this big blazing red banner, United States Federal Reserve System behind us. And number one, I thought it was kind of Christmassy, but really it's because this is all about the Federal Reserve. Because remember, folks, the Federal Reserve System controls basically our money supply. I mean, obviously the U.S. Treasury does the printing, but the Federal Reserve is in charge of it. The Federal Reserve is not federal. They are a private banking organization. They have shareholders, which are the largest banks in the world, and they are given a percentage on the money. There's no reserves in the Federal Reserve. They are trillions in the hole, printing money that doesn't exist, backed up by nothing except the good faith and credit of the United States. So all of what we're talking about in these last couple weeks really does center around the fact that our Federal Reserve not only printed trillions of dollars into the system, diluting your buying power. Now, what does that mean? Think about it. If you fill up your kitchen sink with water and dump a little cup, tiny handful into the water of cranberry juice, maybe or maybe not, it dilutes or turns red, right? Dump a whole gallon of cranberry juice and all of a sudden it's red. That's very similar in dilution to our dollar bill. By all this money printing, what it does is it makes this not nearly as able to buy. And we all know we're buying food, we're buying clothes. This Christmas, we're buying gifts. We see how expensive things are. That's because they printed trillions in the Federal Reserve System, and then they swapped out swap line loans and loans globally to the tune of 10 to 15 trillion around the world. We bailed out the world in 2008. So it's very important, and I just kind of have it there to remind us where the nemesis of this is. And I know people say we couldn't do it without them. I'd say we could do a lot better without them, really. So I want to go into the gold. Weekly transparent gold holdings. Now, the reason I want this up is notice in the yellow line, that's the actual gold price. Then the blue line is the holdings in the position. So as the price rises, the gold holdings were rising. But very uniquely, on the right, I want you to notice since this summer now, the prices started coming down to some extent, but over 186 tons of gold was taken out of the system. And where did it go? And many of us contend to Asia, and it will never return, which I believe Asia means China. Now, why do we want to focus on China and the gold and Asia and the derivative? Gold, no matter what they try to tell you, is still our real money. period. It just is. Now, you know, they've made it archaic. They've conditioned the psyche to make it not so. But constitutional money, Article 1, Section 8, right here, silver. Biblical money, silver. Gold was our money in the United States as well, and they made it Tier 1 equivalent to currency just a couple years ago, which is really interesting. But the reason we have to talk about that, China has no problem taking the West's gold and silver. Now, they're not so fancy on silver as much. They have a lot of it. But the people are really psyched into the idea of owning gold, which it doesn't matter. Either way, gold or silver, those prices are going to move together. And then when you understand the gold and silver ratio, you'll understand that gold maybe can move $50, silver can go up $30. So that's the part I'm excited for in the future. But China has been taking the West's gold for years. And these price declines like this always seem to come on the heels of an accumulation of gold leaving the West. And one day I'm going to do a great series. It'll probably be 2-3 hours worth. So it'd have to get broken up big time. Maybe put it into a DVD. But you have to see how they're doing these certificates in the United States for physical. It's called exchange for physical. And that exchange for physical, meaning in the market that controls the price of gold and silver, you can say, I demand just the physical delivery. Well, the United States market, which is the COMEX in Chicago, they don't have the physical that they sell. Currently today, there are 382 ounces of gold sold on paper in the market to control the price down for every 1 real ounce of gold in the vault for delivery. That's extraordinary. So think about that. There's 382 people on one side of the street, 1 ounce of gold on the other. Go. Now, back when the 2008 cycle started, around 2012 or so, we were around maybe 90 ounces of gold sold on paper. The derivatives were manipulating, but not nearly as heavy. And so for all those that say, well, gold and silver is not really moving, it's just been just a horrible thing to buy, why would I want to do that? Well, I think for those, number one, owning the physical is vital, because if you have it, you have it. And if it's in your IRA physical, it's yours, so it doesn't have any other liability. The thing is, they manipulated the price, or they have been manipulating to keep it down. And they're doing that through these derivatives on the futures exchange, selling gold they don't own and silver. So when we saw 90 ounces of gold sold for every 1 in the vault for delivery, we thought that was high back then. Now we're up to near 400 ounces of gold for 1 real ounce. Now, what does that tell to you? It's an imbalance, right? It doesn't make any sense. And there's a reason, obviously, to manipulate and suppress the psychology. Because if we, the people, believe that gold and silver is bad, the prices aren't moving, well, then I have to put my money somewhere. Oh, we'll funnel right into the stock market where they want us to be. But as we showed you last week, for those that have not seen it, I recommend going back to see that program, where these cycles are starting to peak. We are starting to see generational cycles hitting highs in the market system. What is that going to do for your IRA? What's it going to do for your savings? You have 10, 15 years to survive the next one. I tell you what, getting information is important. Being educated is vital. Check this out and find out.
Terrorism, a volatile stock market, rising food costs, natural disasters. Every day our economy is at risk, but your assets should not be. Cornerstone Asset Metals is here to help you protect and preserve what you have worked so hard to gain. Whether you have IRAs to protect, 401ks to preserve, or cash in the bank, our accredited asset management specialists are here to support you. Call now and we'll send you urgent information regarding changes to the dollar and challenges to our economy that you need to be prepared for. Learn how easy it is to roll over your current IRA or 401k into a physical precious metals IRA. We can even arrange to have your precious metals stored in a private vault or send it directly to your home. Do not delay. Call 888-747-3309 or register online at cornerstoneassetmetals.com today. Invest in precious metals and create security in your future today. Call now.